Hello, my friends. Here we are in nature. I'm standing looking out at a beautiful vista in Grass Valley, California. The weather is kind of tepid. They expect snow in a couple days, but we're lucky that we actually are getting ready to call in the new year and another beautiful day in the neighborhood. So today we're going to talk about connecting to nature. In doing research for today's Facebook Live, I discovered that there are many researchers who have looked into nature and whether it's good for us, whether it's bad for us. So they've done many studies all over the world about the impact of nature. And one of the things they have discovered is that it's good for us. In case you wondered, you probably thought it was already. Most people go on vacation in nature. They love to sit by the ocean, listen to the waves, go hiking, and there is a hypothesis called biophilia, which says that human beings have an innate desire to go toward nature. Makes sense to me, but again, with the study and the evidence-based science, we now have reasons to have planning of cities and of neighborhoods where they will put nature, more of nature in, because in the cities there is a need for it. So what are the discoveries that they made? Well, if you spend time in nature, you will be less depressed. You'll have more positive feelings. It lifts your mood. There are also reports where people have less, they will complain less of headaches and of fatigue, so that your mood gets boosted, your energy gets boosted. They also say that when you're in nature, you tend to exercise more. So we know that this huge obesity problem in the United States, and it's spreading around the world as the American diet spreads around the world. And so being out in nature, going hiking, actually does help people to get more exercise and to maintain a better weight and health. There is a group of a couple researchers, Stephen and Rachel Kaplan, and they have come up with this theory of restorative attention. And what they say is, so right now in today's world, the prefrontal cortex of our brain has many demands on it. We are receiving more information than ever, and in terms of evolution and the timing of evolution, it's happening quicker and quicker. And so your prefrontal cortex is has so many demands on it that actually its attention gets depleted, and you're less able to put attention and focus on something because you're so distracted by all the different technologies. And what they have in this theory of attention restoration, going out to nature actually restores a balance to your attention. And they talk about this soft, it's called soft fascinations. So when you're out in nature and you kind of are staring into space, it's an involuntary relaxation, and there's ease. You don't have to work to process it. You just kind of can be in nature, and that is soothing and helps to restore your ability to then go back, be more productive and more focused. They've done studies where they have put plants in offices, or where a person can sit by a window and look at nature, and that increases productivity. So there's many benefits of being in nature. So why are we talking about this? Because we want to be connected. So the connection that we have to ourselves, the connection that we have to other people, our community, our spirit, and then nature. So we have access to all this information that tells us these things are good for you. So can you add some time going into nature into your weekly process of living? And there is some studies that were done that also talk about creativity and the sensation of awe. When you're in nature and you have a sense of awe, they actually have done studies where people are kinder to other people after they have an experience of being in nature. So I wonder if you can perhaps one day a week maybe get up, get out of bed, and go outside and take a walk. if you like me and you live close to an open space, you can go in your pajamas, just put on some shoes and go out there just for a quick 10-minute walk. And looking at nature will help you to kind of set the mood for a better sense of yourself and of the day. They also did this research where they had a person standing, looking up at a tree and just staring at a tree. And then they had another person looking up and staring at a building. And after the same amount of time, there's people who stared at the tree, when they tested them afterwards, they actually had a better cognitive ability. So there's so many benefits of being in nature that I really want you to take advantage of it. As a survivor of child sexual abuse, many times we ruminate, we think about the past, we have this really critical sensation of a critical self-image, and we tend not to do things that are good for us. So I am asking you to open your heart to yourself and to start to spend more time in nature. Perhaps go for a hike with a friend. Again, just even listening to the sounds of nature. So that's pretty much what I wanted to tell you today, is go out, take a walk, take a hike, and enjoy. I have an exercise that I thought you might try. So the next time you go out to spend some time in nature, what I want you to do is just really take time to look around you, look at the textures, look at the colors, listen to the sounds, feel the temperature, and really get a sensation of what is going on around you. Just observe it. You don't have to do anything with it. And then, after you do that for a while, I want you to imagine the sensation of the blood in your body rushing through your veins. Maybe feel your heartbeat. Mine tends to beat a little bit faster when I'm doing these. So feel your heartbeat, feel your lungs, so that you realize that we are nature. We are so similar to nature, and in the awe of being in nature, you get a sensation that you're a small part of a bigger picture. And that's one of the things they talk about. Nature gives you a holistic sense of decision making. You can look at a problem and look at it holistically and perhaps find solutions that you could not find had you not spent some time in nature. So this is it. It's the end of the year, the last Facebook Live for 2016. And I thank you so much for joining me in the past. And January is coming. In January, we're going to look at curiosity. We're going to look at questions, how to ask a better question, and questions to live by. So I look forward to you joining me then. And I also created that free download now that you can go to my website and get, and which is called How to Change Your Past and Lose 40 Pounds. And I'm working this year with women over the age of 60 who are survivors of child sexual abuse, who want to have a better relationship with their selves, with their past, and also with food and with their bodies. So I'm happy to help you with any of this. Just send me a note and or put it down in the Facebook, and I will respond to all of your comments. So thank you again, and I will see you next year. Bye.